Hey y'all, I'm so happy that you joined me today because we are going to have so much fun because we are making a dish that Louisiana people love, Southerners love, and if you try it, I think you're going to love it too. We're going to make oyster dressing. So what I've done is I have sauteed a half a cup of onions, a half a cup of bell pepper, chopped green bell pepper, and a half a cup of celery, and then 2 garlic cloves. And you don't want to caramelize them. You want to just saute them until they are translucent, which takes about 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to put these in our bowl. Now, if I could make everything and put everything in the skillet, but you have to have a big skillet. So we're going to put everything in the bowl, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. So what we are going to add next is bread. Now, this is torn pieces of French bread. We just like French bread and a lot of different things, but it needs to have some body. And so right now I'm going to start out with 3 cups of torn French bread. Now I also use cornbread. And what I like is the little box mix because we like it sweet, especially for dressing. I don't know, we just like it like that. And I've got a half of the recipe right here, and I'm going to crumble that up in my bowl. Typically, in last year, whenever we made our chicken dressing, we just put oysters in the top. And you can do that, but this is strictly an oyster dressing, and I think you're going to love it because it's just that little bit different. Plus, it is so simple to make. I mean, there are not many ingredients. It's just yummy. So next, we're going to add some chicken stock. Now, I've got, honestly, I usually don't measure, but I tried to measure for y'all. I'm going to add 1 cup of chicken stock to start with. Now, I will tell y'all that we like our dressing very moist. Now, some people like it really dry, and they'll bake it until it gets really crispy on top. We don't do that. We like it kind of moist. And then we're going to add our seasonings, which is 2 tablespoons of poultry seasoning. Now, and 1/2 teaspoon of celery salt. Now, poultry seasoning really just consists of sage, rosemary, thyme, and I think that's all, maybe some black pepper. But you can buy poultry seasoning, a little bitty thing, or you can just make it yourself and then have it for the holidays whenever you're cooking a lot of things that might benefit from the poultry seasoning. Now we're also going to use 2 tablespoons, oops, this is not a good sleeve to cook in, 2 tablespoons of Dana Dash, which is my Cajun seasoning, but it's an all-purpose seasoning, and we just love it, and I use it on everything. So it gives enough heat without too much, but lots of flavor. Now, we are going to add green onions. So here are green onions. Now, we're adding them to the mixture. Then we're also going to add them on top after it's cooked. So let's mix those in. I hope y'all are having a great holiday season. We've been super busy. We had a wonderful trip to Louisiana, and now we're going to be home for the holidays. Tonight is Nico's little program at church, so we're so excited about that. And anyway, there's a lot of cooking to be done, isn't there, during the holidays? So I was going to show y'all what I did. I took my oysters out of the container and drained them because you want your oyster, the juice from your oysters. And I just, I use this little thing that's broken, but I still use it all the time. And I'm going to put about half of it in, because it is so flavorful. And since it's oyster dressing, you want it to taste like oysters. So, honestly, this dressing is so flavorful. I think even if you didn't like raw oysters, now we do, but if you didn't, you would like this dressing. So then what I did was I took the oysters and cut them into bite size. They were pretty large. So I just cut them in half, basically. So we're going to add our oysters. And then let's mix it all together. And y'all, this looks yummy. And I think we were right on our ingredients for the bread. The amount for the bread, which was 3 cups of torn bread. I used French bread. You can use white bread if you like. And a half of a cast iron skillet of cornbread. So it looks like it's just going to be perfect. And then we used about half of the oyster juice. Now I used 1 cup of chicken broth. So here we go. 1/2 cup of onions, 1/2 cup of green bell pepper, 1/2 cup of celery. Saute that down until it gets translucent, and then add in 1 or 2 cloves of garlic that have been chopped up well, or minced as they say, and let that cook for about 3 minutes. And then add everything to your bowl, which is your cornbread, half of the whatever you baked, which was 1 little box, 3 cups of bread, half of the oyster juice. And honestly, y'all, you just have to kind of go by if you like it dry or if you like it moist. It was a pint of oysters that I cut in half. I added our seasonings, which was poultry seasoning and Dana Dash, which is a Cajun seasoning. I am going to add just a little bit of pepper, sprinkle of pepper on the top, and then a sprinkle of salt, because you want it to be really flavorful. Okay, now you can add some hot sauce to this if you like, or you don't have to. But I think we're going to be good with this. So then, and so you add your oysters. And remember, I cut the oysters in half. Okay, so here's our baking dish, and I like to use this baking dish. It's so old. I have some prettier ones, but this has a top, and so it makes it super easy. So we're going to put all of our mixture in our baking dish. I have my oven turned on to 350. Now this oyster dressing is served in New Orleans at most of the restaurants because people just like it. It just gives you a little different spin on it, and you can get it there, or you can make it yourself. If you live in Tennessee like I do, just make it yourself. I actually found some fresh oysters from one of the grocery stores that kind of, they get their own seafood from Mississippi, I believe. But, so I felt really good, and they taste really good as well. Okay. 2 tablespoons of poultry seasoning, 2 tablespoons of Dana Dash, Cajun seasoning, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and put it in your baking dish. And it's, I have my oven on at 350. And we're going to bake it for 20 minutes covered, then take off the top, bake it for 10 more minutes, and we'll be back, and I'll show you how yummy this oyster dressing is whenever you can bake it and have it, make it, bake it, and have it for your Thanksgiving table. Okay, y'all, here is our oyster dressing, and it smells divine. I think you can see it pretty good. It looks just like cornbread dressing, but it smells like seafood. So I think what we'll do is we'll put just a little bit of lemon on it, since it does have oysters in it. And lemon always enhances the flavor of any kind of seafood. So just sprinkle a little bit on, and I think you'll like it like that. Then we're going to put some green onions on top, for garnish, but also for flavor. Green onions have so much flavor in them. I always use the green and the white parts, and especially on dressing, it just seems like it does not taste the same, and dirty rice without green onions. And then we will put a little bit of parsley on for a little green and make it pretty. I like parsley too. I love cilantro. I know some people, you either love cilantro or not. I love it. But for this dish, I think we'll use just a little bit of parsley. And then we are going to, my kitchen, y'all, smells so good. I'm just telling you. Okay, so how long to bake it? You know, everybody's oven is a little different, as mine is. So I had to bake mine for 45 minutes instead of 30. So I baked it with the top on for about 20 minutes, then took off the top to let some of the juice evaporate. But also you want your oysters to cook. So it is so hot, but I'm going to take a little taste. I think I can kind of take it out of the corner and you won't know that I had it. So let's see how it tastes. So this is oyster dressing, perfect for this time of year. Great addition to your cornbread dressing or dirty rice or whatever kind you like to have. And super, super, super simple to make. It is hot, y'all. Let's see how hot it is. It's delicious. And I did get a little bit of oyster in my bite. You know, it just tastes like seafood dressing, which is so good. Seafood pie, you know how you make a crawfish pie? It has a lot of that flavor. These delicious oysters. So, y'all make this. Tell me how you liked it. I hope you have a super happy Thanksgiving and blessings, blessings. Please share this video, like and follow us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to my store. I've got my Dana Dash and my cookbooks on there. These wonderful spatulas that we get from the Amish. And hope to see y'all soon. Bon appetit, y'all.